Usually, my motto is that violence is never the answer, but in a zombie apocalypse, oftentimes it is the only answer.
Actually, The Last of Us doesn't take place in a zombie apocalypse since the cordyceps virus infects living hosts, and a zombie is reanimated from death, and since the infected never die, they're not zombies.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, The Last of Us Part 1 is a very violent game where you use such weapons as bricks and fists. But today, I chose neither. Instead, I attempted to beat the entirety of The Last of Us Part 1 using only the starting 9mm pistol. So what do I mean by only using the 9mm pistol? Well, this means no melee, no bricks or bottles, no molotovs, no equipment, and no other weapons aside from the starter pistol. This means every encounter will be far more difficult because I can't punch enemies. Strategies that require stealth killing or throwing bottles to distract enemies also won't work because I can't use throwables, and the pistol in this game doesn't have a silencer. So anytime I need to kill, I will alert other enemies. I can still scavenge and craft things, but virtually the only supplies I can craft are shivs to open doors and health kits. I'm also completing this on hard because I want somewhat of a challenge, and any higher difficulty will likely have a lack of ammo pretty quickly. There are certain parts where combat is required, and without enough ammo, I would essentially be soft-locked, so having enough ammo drops is crucial. And another thing on ammo, I said I'm only using the pistol, and that is true. However, the game sometimes forces ammo into my inventory when I'm out, so I'm stating as a rule now that I am allowed to shoot other guns for the sole purpose of wasting ammo, because the game will also sometimes spawn ammo on the floor if you're all out. Again, this is the only time I will go out of my way to use other weapons, but I'm literally just shooting at the ground or walls, where enemies don't take any damage, and I'm not gaining anything aside from maximizing my chances of getting more pistol ammo. Also, allies can get kills however they want, since I don't have control over them, and quite frankly, I need them to kill enemies at some parts, plus I'm the only one doing the pistol only challenge. And there are certain parts of the game that force the player to use other weapons, so what about those? Well, I'll get to them, but basically anytime the pistol is an option, we are using it, and anytime it's not, we will suffer. I'm also not going to count QuickTime events or cutscenes that force you into using a certain weapon because those are out of our control. If a cutscene shows Joel using a knife or a gun that's not the 9mm pistol, we will punish him, but it won't count against us. I'm not using glitches or skips, so with all that being said, let's see if we can beat The Last of Us Part 1 using only the starting 9mm pistol. The prologue starts off with us watching some fireworks, and Joel cheats by using a revolver on his neighbor Jimmy, but we don't control him here, so this is fine. We take a nice drive and then head out to our midnight showing of Dawn of the Wolf Part 2. Man, this crowd is insane. Maybe the box office will even catch up to Avatar. Oh, come on! Well, for some reason our showing got cancelled, so we had to ditch that, and we found out what happens to Joel if he even thinks about cheating again in this challenge. The quarantine zone starts off a bit slow, but we get some world building, and by that I mean we hear Laura Bailey's voice from like a million different characters.
I'll make sure to tell them that. What about you, Joel? You better not mention the fireflies too loudly.
We've received reports that victims afflicted with the infection.
Okay, you get the idea. I've played this game too many times, but if you have played literally any PlayStation game ever, I can guarantee you she stars in it. We finally get to some enemies we can take on, and the first few can be taken out pretty easily with the pistol. Tess helps us out quite a bit. I learn quickly I can't stealth kill, and then I run around while Tess shoots this guy so I can save some ammo and get a key. The wharf section is really awkward because I usually stealth kill a few guys on the way to confront Robert, but I couldn't do that, so I had to draw guys away from the door by letting them see me and running around. Barely made it through, but only shot a couple bullets here. Then Tess kills Robert with a pistol, and we follow Marlene. This area of soldiers, the game kinda wants you to stealth kill this first guy and Marlene will take the other, but if you shoot him, Marlene does nothing. Come on. So I ended up killing 2 soldiers and kinda snuck by. The guy at the end was super unobservant, like, come on dude, terrible guard. Then I met up with Ellie and headed to the north wall, and honestly being able to break this glass is probably my favorite upgrade they made to part 1.
Where are your parents?
Where are anyone's parents? It's been gone a long time.
We start off the Outskirts chapter with some Fedra soldiers, and Tess and Joel make quick work of them with pistols. We escape into this totally not suspect building full of loud clicker noises, and we walk past our first weapon pickup, which is the revolver. Of course, I ignore that, and we get dropped into this area alone where Tess and Ellie leave us, and the game kind of assumes you picked up the revolver or are willing to use hand-to-hand combat. I'm 0 for 2 there, and there are 5 infected here, and I've got 6 bullets, which would be fine, except one of those 5 is a clicker, so that will take 2 bullets. Also, one of the runners has a helmet, so if I shoot its head, that will also take 2 shots. If I use 4 bullets for those 2 infected, then I have 2 bullets left and 3 runners. I could use the strategy of grabbing a runner and feeding it to the clicker, but this is insanely difficult to pull off and not really a viable strategy. Fortunately, if I sneak up on this runner with the helmet and take it hostage, I can headshot it and kill it in one shot, which means we have exactly enough bullets to pass this section. We keep going, and in this subway area with a bunch of clickers, Tess gives us 3 bullets. I needed this clicker by the ladder to move away, and I ended up killing it, which I didn't really need to, but it dropped 3 more bullets, so it was worth it. I ran around a bit to get back into stealth, and then climbed this ladder to leave the subway. Then there are 3 runners by this cart you have to push, and the easy method is to grab and choke them out, but I just went and pushed the cart while Tess distracted them, so I could push it to this truck and climb over to the museum. In the first section of the museum, I opened a shiv door and ran past 3 clickers and this runner to preserve ammo. In the next area, I thought I could just run by because I remember this being a legit strategy in the original game, but it doesn't work here and we do have to kill all of the runners that burst in. I did a pretty bad job with aiming here, but the runners dropped so much ammo I kinda didn't care and I just continued forward. Saved all my ammo in the Capitol building and the subway by just running past and sneaking by without too much difficulty. Then we headed to Bill's town. It's pretty empty at first, so we just waltz through, ignore this bow, and we do have to use a couple bullets to set off these traps. Eventually, we get caught in Bill's snare, and even though I didn't pick up the revolver, Joel magically pulls one out of thin air. We can't switch weapons, and if we don't shoot, then either we will die or Ellie will die, so there's no way around this, we have to use the revolver here. So now, I'm going to keep a count of how many times we have to use something other than the 9mm pistol. Immediately after this, I didn't have to use any ammo until I got to Bill's hideout. There's a parking lot afterward with a bunch of infected, but one of Bill's tripwires kills a bunch of them, and then Bill kills most of the other ones, but leaves the last for us to take out. How nice of him. In the next scene, Bill throws a shotgun at us, and we also can't progress until we take his reading material. But really, we do have to take a nail bomb from him in order to keep going, so I just kept this and held it for the whole game, considering it Bill's lucky nail bomb. The clickers in this graveyard and the infected in these backyards can all be avoided on the way to the school, so that's exactly what I did. Bill killed most of the runners outside here, and I did have to kill one, and he gave me 6 shotgun shells, which were useless. The inside of the school was frustrating and even had me backtracking to get more ammo and empty out my remaining guns, so that an ammo drop would be more likely, but then I realized you can do this entire section in stealth and not use any ammo, so I once again hoarded my pistol ammo and made it to the gym. The gym bloater. Actually, not too bad. Runners continuously spawn in and they drop pistol ammo, so I was actually able to get a ton of pistol ammo from this part alone. They did drop other types of ammo, so I had to shoot into the wall a bit, but I found out that Lincoln High School class of '90 was elite in girls volleyball. And wrestling. I just ran from the bloater, but like I said, I was able to hoard so much ammo that taking it down was no issue, and taking the 3 runners that spawn in after was also pretty easy. I made it out of this part with like 19 bullets thanks to all of the spawning in runners, and I had to use a few to kill some infected while we tried to get the truck working, but overall I ended Bill's town with like 15 bullets plus Bill's lucky nail bomb, and was pretty satisfied, but definitely concerned for the future how many handgun bullets the game would give us, because outside of the gym, infected almost never dropped pistol ammo.
You ain't gonna make it.
Well that's pretty rude, Bill. I mean, do you at least have any pistol ammo for me then?
Here.
What's this?
And now we head to Pittsburgh with nothing but 15 bullets, our pistol, and Ellie.
How the hell would he even walk around with that thing?
Exactly, Ellie, that's why we're doing a pistol-only challenge. We make a quick stop in Pittsburgh for some McDonald's, but when I asked if the ice cream machine worked, they literally hit me with a bus. So I did have to go inside and ask for a manager. Joel kills this first guy in a QuickTime event, so this won't add to our counter. The second guy who grabs Ellie we unfortunately have to kick. Joel stupidly left his pistol in the car so we don't have a weapon wheel, and he can't pull it out of nowhere like he did with the revolver literally 1 chapter ago. This is kind of a gray area, and I know I'll get comments about it, but pressing square only triggers this cutscene to start, which is required, and since cutscene kills don't count, I'm not going to count this one. Also, another thing, you don't have weapons, but you can throw a brick at this guy, and he doesn't react at all. So I think that further supports the fact that this is all cutscene. Thank God I had so much ammo left over from the high school gym, because at this part I needed almost as many bullets as there were enemies, since I had to kill all of them, and Ellie doesn't help out at this part. The only other strategy I could use was to take someone hostage, shoot another enemy, and then a third enemy would shoot the enemy I'm holding, which is an overly complicated way of saving one bullet, and I didn't take full advantage of it, but it's worth noting. I get to enjoy some nice conversation with Ellie as we move through Pittsburgh.
So, we kill a lot of innocent people?
Yes, that's my favorite conversation starter, Ellie. We were able to sneak through the bookstore pretty easily, and then it was on to the hotel. No, your watch is broken. I was able to sneak my way through the upper levels of the hotel, and then onto the elevator. Now we head to the basement to look for our lost ID. Yeah, Jack Solovinsky, yep. That's me. I swear it's only a thing in the remake that the stalkers don't grab you until you start the generator or grab the hotel keycard, which was clutch because in the hotel basement, I just sprinted past the stalkers and the bloater to conserve ammo. Then we climb out of the basement, and we end up having to use a few shots to kill these enemies near the kitchen before Ellie joins in on the challenge and kills this guy with a pistol. I had to use a lot of ammo in this plaza section, but Ellie at least helped me out with some kills. Also, after this section, the rifle is forced into my inventory, which is super frustrating because from now on, I'll have to also deal with seeing rifle pickups, and Ellie could literally just hang on to this for us. Come on. Okay, I actually went back to this encounter and replayed it just to get more footage, and I found out that you actually don't have to pick up the rifle, so I have no idea how it ended up in my inventory.
How'd that get in there?
Okay, so going through even more footage, I think I found the exact part where I accidentally picked up the rifle. So I tried to pick up this pistol ammo in this one scene, and you see Joel reach, but no pistol ammo gets added to my inventory, so this might have been where I get the rifle, but it honestly doesn't make a difference because I didn't use it to kill enemies at any point in my run. Then we go through an office building and sneak by two guys who are looking for us before getting to a group of like 6 to 8 enemies, and you have to kill all of them to climb this ladder and get out of here. Even these two guys in the area who were nowhere near the fire escape decided to come over and join the party. I was trying to bait enemies into the tripwire, but they kept ducking under until one enemy just randomly sprinted full on into a tripwire and blew up. We make it past this section pretty easily, and in a throwback to the prologue, we see a Dawn of the Wolf Part 2 poster. You see, Ellie? That's real cinema right there. We meet up with Henry and Sam, and it's a good thing I reminded Joel this is a pistol-only playthrough, because honestly, he could have killed Henry here. Sam a real one for carrying the pistol, though. On our way to Henry's hideout, Ellie totally stole something from this store, and I can't believe she did that. Where would she learn to do a thing? Oh, yeah. I committed a few more murders on my way to Henry's hideout, and then we made our way to the gate out of Pittsburgh. I had to kill a few guys here, and it was awkward because the first guy is supposed to be killed in stealth, but I couldn't do that. But from there, I kinda just ran around and shot guys as they came too close to me. Henry was pretty useful and killed some of these guys while I just ran around and saved some ammo. Henry and Sam abandon us, and we're forced to go through this bar with multiple hunters that we have to kill. We get to this bridge, and Joel, you are an independent person. If your best friend jumped off a bridge, would you do— Damn it, Joel. We go through the worst lazy river I've ever seen, and then wake up in the next chapter, the Suburbs. I started this section with 2 bullets, so I already knew from the get-go that it was going to be pretty rough. They even tempt us right away with the new gun called the Shorty, which I had zero intention of even getting near. Also, the fact there's low visibility is great, and I'm sure nothing dangerous is lurking out of our sight.
Hold up.
Yeah, wow, the sewers are full of infected. Who could have seen that one coming? We do have to kill all of them before we can progress because this door won't let us open it until all the infected are dead. Henry will kill most of them, but this last clicker he wouldn't kill, so I had to take it out, and then we were able to progress. We go through the next room with Sam, and I tried to be stealthy and avoid the infected, but there's a clicker at the base of this ladder we need to use to get out of here. I couldn't use a brick or bottle to lure it away, so I did the next best thing, which was to start running around like a madman and just get it to wander far away from the ladder. Then I went back into stealth and made it through this with no bullets used. In this final section, I mostly just ran around and didn't kill anything, while Henry held his own pretty well. Yeah, he's probably fine. We wander through this abandoned neighborhood and have some calm after the sewers. Every time I play this part though, I question where these dogs went at the end of the street. Seriously, they run around the corner, but there's no way they could go past this debris blocking the street, and the backyard next to it is fenced, so where did they go? Literally unplayable. We drop down and get ambushed by a sniper that Joel volunteers to take out.
Be careful.
Ellie, why? After that mishap, we're able to get to the sniper without having to kill anyone, so we don't have to waste any ammo. Once we do get to the sniper, there is a major issue. Joel stabs him in this QuickTime event, which doesn't add to our counter, but then we're forced to use the sniper rifle to take out enemies, and I'm not going to count the exact number of shots, you get the idea. You have to use the sniper, add this to the counter. Also, I literally shot this clicker immediately as it got to Sam, and it still bit him. Like, come on Sam, you must have actively tried to get bit somewhere. Truly no idea where else he could have gotten bit. Unfortunately, we don't get much more Sam and Henry content before they leave us, and we head to Tommy's Dam. We come across a hunting pistol by this car and promptly ignore it. Dare I say, right here is the best shiv door in the game. 5 pistol bullets. Amazing. We cross the dam and the game gives us another hunting pistol to ignore, and then we meet up with Tommy and Maria. My strategy with the bandit ambush was to basically just run and gun at first, and then once I got to the bridge, to let Tommy's men take out as many bandits as possible. It was kind of annoying because most of his men just stood there shooting and doing nothing, which, to be fair, I also stood there doing nothing, but hey, that's different, I'm allowed to do that. I did end up killing this last guy here, and then once we moved inside, I had to kill a few more. Of course, there's an ambush on our way to find Ellie, and I played a little aggressively here, shooting almost all of the enemies on my own, but luckily they dropped a lot of pistol ammo. The ranch house right after went perfectly, and the last guy also dropped 6 bullets. This kind of made up for the fact that the ambush at the dam was a pain, but hey, we got a lot of ammo, and we headed out to the university. Right away we can see a flamethrower by this workbench, and another flamethrower by this gate, which we are not picking up. There are 6 runners by this generator we need to start, and technically Ellie can help you if you take them down to the gate she's standing behind, but low-key, she was pretty useless, so I just used all my ammo to take them out. We get to another gate that's not opened, of course, and sneak through some dorms. The lower level of this dorm reeked so bad it kinda reminded me of a frat house, and for obvious reasons, I snuck by all the clickers and the bloater. Hey, wait bro, the girl to guy ratio's way too low. Who do you know here? Hey, who do you know here? We made it to the university hospital and found another elite shiv door with 4 pistol bullets. The devs really want me to do well because they're actually giving me a pretty healthy supply of ammo now. On my way down, I had to shoot a bunch of guys, but this part took a really long time because I wanted to conserve as much ammo as possible for when we had the winter section. I did have to shoot a few guys at the bottom level before I was able to get this triangle prompt and open the door, but we made it through this encounter with 3 bullets. Then, Joel falls off this ledge, and boy am I glad I still have my lucky nail bomb, so I landed on this soft piece of rebar, and not something harder like grass. Joel is so out of it that he only reaches for his revolver, and we can't use any other weapons here. We have to shoot this first guy that charges at us, or he'll kill us. We don't have to use any more ammo, but we do have to use this one shot, so as much as it pains me to say it, we have to add 1 more to the counter. Man, I fell off like Joel on this horse. Then we go to winter for the hardest part of this playthrough. Ellie of course starts with a bow and has to shoot this deer twice, which honestly is my least favorite part of the game because I am terrible at it. The original game and the remaster both show you where the arrow is going to land, but in the remake you have to eyeball it, which I suck at.
Come on, Ellie.
Oh, I didn't realize I had to shoot the deer. That makes sense. So yeah, this adds to the counter, and after shooting the deer twice, we can progress. Right after this first part, I looked at Ellie's inventory, and you're telling me we've played this whole game, and she has picked up nothing other than that damn toy robot? Ellie, I'm disappointed. The sections with David are a major pain. This first tiny room with David is super annoying because if he gets grabbed, it's basically game over since you get 0 bullets for your pistol here. Y'all hear something? Cause I don't. This is a pistol only run, but Ellie heard I'm pissed so only run and just ran in circles and prayed that a clicker didn't get to her. I just ignored David the whole time when he asked for help.
Help me with this thing.
Also, he said,
You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that thing than I am.
well, you must be garbage then, because I have not landed a single shot. Wasting this ammo didn't even help much because no pistol ammo spawned anyway. but I made it through this section. David kills this clicker that follows us out of the room, so this was fine. Also unrelated, but I love the voice crack David has when this catwalk falls.
Get out of there!
I avoided some clickers and then juked out this one on the catwalk to make it to the elevator shaft. This room is a pain, but I finally got some pistol ammo. Still, I treated this kind of like a pacifist run and sprinted away from all the infected while David killed them until the bloater spawned, which David wouldn't kill. I thought this would be like the high school gym bloater in Bill's Town where infected kept spawning to drop ammo for the player, but after David killed the remaining infected, no more spawned in. I discovered that if you run out of ammo here, more will randomly spawn in the room, and pistol ammo spawned in these two spots. With that, I was able to take out the bloater and make it through this section with a lot of suffering, and of course, my now empty pistol. Ellie goes for a horse ride and she stabs this guy, but it's in a cutscene, so that's fine. You don't use your pistol in this segment, and you also can completely avoid killing enemies, so nothing really noteworthy here. Except for the fact I got up to eat in the middle of this, and I didn't pause the game, and it kind of looped for like 20 minutes, so sorry Ellie. I mostly just snuck around David's men and made my way to the lodge without using any bullets. But then there was a major issue. Once you get in the lodge, these two guys are there, and they immediately notice you.
Don't this side of the lodge!
You can go back into stealth, but you can't go through this door until both of them are dead. They're zoned to stay kind of close to this door, so even if you do go back into stealth, they'll slowly move over there, and there's no way through this door without killing both of them. And of course, I have 0 bullets. So, rewind time. Of course, there were no good checkpoints I could use when we were fighting off all those infected earlier, so I had to go all the way back to the start of winter. I was running low on patience, so I kinda skipped through this whole infected part and made it to the checkpoint with the bloater. For this, I did kill the bloater with only a pistol once again, but I made sure to count my shots so that I would end up with exactly 1 extra pistol bullet. Not gonna lie, I thought this took somewhere from like 12 to 14 shots, so I kinda got lucky here, but I still ended up with 1 extra bullet. Okay, now back to the section we were on before. These two guys, I shot one of them and he dropped a bunch of pistol ammo, which I used to shoot the other guy, which is great because we lose our inventory here, so this pistol ammo we have is pretty much useless.
Here. You should eat.
Not even seasoned, you donkey!
David got a little upset by Ellie's review, so now we head back over to Joel.
I'm waking up! I'm waking up! I'm waking up! I'm waking up!
I scavenged this house for supplies and found out that they completely refilled the ammo in my revolver. No pistol ammo, but full revolver ammo. So I punished this pot and this coffee maker.
It's high noon.
Initially, I thought I would have to kill a few guys as Joel here, and that's mainly why I wanted to save ammo from the university level, but I found out if you just run forward, the enemies keep moving and you don't actually have to kill any of them. Joel tortures a few guys, but this is all a cutscene, so it's fine. And then Ellie bites David, which I guess technically I never stated was against the rules, but hey, it's also in a cutscene, so it's fine.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Ellie was so funny for that. Oh, and also she stabs James. We sneak through the blizzard with nothing but a knife, and we make it to the restaurant where we face off against David. Of course, we can't use a pistol here because all we have is a knife, so we do have to stab him a few times, and this will add to our counter. Back to Joel for one last section, and it's pretty uneventful. I basically just sprinted to the restaurant and I didn't end up using any ammo. Ellie rearranges David's face, and then we head to Utah. After finishing the hardest chapter in the game, Bus Depot is a breath of fresh air. We get to hit up the petting zoo and enjoy a beautiful moment between Ellie and Joel.
Hey there.
This last section in an underground tunnel is full of infected, and I know Naughty Dog just wants us to be dumb enough to waste all of our ammo before we get to the hospital, but luckily, I'm dumb enough to do that by myself. And I only have 3 pistol bullets, so can't get that one past me. I just snuck by these infected and Ellie quietly pushed over this extremely loud crate to climb out of this area. I boosted Ellie over the door, and a clicker showed up out of nowhere to grab her. As is tradition, my allies are completely useless when a clicker shows up, But I also expected this kill, so I used 2 of my remaining bullets on the clicker, and then I realized I only had 1 left, and I wasn't sure if I would get any more, but that's okay, because I also realized that this was my destiny since I ended the university level with 3 bullets.
You see, everything happens for a reason.
We get to the hospital ready to just go insane on these soldiers, and Joel starts us off beautifully by using a pistol to kill this soldier in a cutscene. I basically just snuck by all the remaining Fireflies, and I made my way to the top floor to save Ellie.
I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the...
Sorry, Doc, but that bullet has been sitting in the chamber for a very long time. 3 chapters to be exact. This is actually the final time we're in combat in the game, but Joel does send us off with a cutscene of him killing Marlene with the correct weapon for this challenge, a pistol. We finished the game in Jackson, and I'm pretty content with this run. Overall, the only times I didn't use the pistol were when the game forced me to use a different weapon, so I think this was a pretty successful challenge, all things considered. A few guns never got added to my inventory, and the Molotov actually never even got a spot in my inventory either. The only things I needed to use other than the pistol were the revolver in Billstown, the sniper in the Suburbs, the revolver again in the university, the bow at the Lakeside Resort, and Ellie's knife again at the Lakeside Resort. Aside from those, the game is completely playable with just the pistol. I know, pretty groundbreaking that you can beat the entire game with the pistol except for the parts where you can't, but still, a pistol-only run is actually pretty viable. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like and comment below how many nails you think are in the nail bomb Bill gave me, because I have no idea and I'm kind of scared it might still blow up. Also, be sure to check out my channel, Epic Cakes Gaming, where I have other videos on The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, as well as challenge videos for more games like Uncharted. I do want to branch out a bit more and do something with the Resident Evil series, so we'll see what I come up with next. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.